Hunter Biden facing 9 criminal charges in a new federal tax case against him. It's the second criminal case brought by special counsel David Weiss. A proposed plea deal, you remember, to resolve the case, well, it dramatically fell apart back in July. And it's raising a lot of questions about what it could mean for his father's re-election campaign. Anderson Cooper recently sat down with President Biden for his podcast, All There Is, where the president talks about how the loss of his wife and daughter impacted his relationship with his sons.
I remember riding, we were in the car, Hunter was, I guess, 5 years old, 6 years old, and we're riding along and the top was down. In those days, you could put a kid in your lap. I had on my lap,
I remember those days. It was crazy.
And we stopped at a stop sign, and we were in the country. And he looked up, and he looked out, and all these cows around grazing. He said, "Daddy, I love you more than the whole sky." The whole sky. And, you know, I'd get home, and they could tell, too, when I was down. And they'd just be there.
In your book, your last book, on the back page was a beautiful photo of Bo when he was 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And he's turning and he's waving to the camera. And you said somewhere that that's the age you always see him in your mind's eye. And I'm wondering, is that still true?
Yeah, it is. He had a smile on his face, just waving. He's walking into the garden. And look, Bo and Hunt, they finish each other's sentences. They are the closest they could possibly be. And I think the loss of Bo was a profound, profound impact on Hunter.
CNN's Anderson Cooper joins me now. Anderson, I mean, just hearing it, you can't help but sort of clutch your heart when you hear this exchange and about, in the voice of President Biden, the love, the loss. When he talks about his son, Bo, and of course talking about his love for Hunter as well, he shared so much with you in this podcast. And I just wonder, what did you take away from the story about his resilience, about his grief, and what he's going through?
Yeah, I think you know, what really comes across in this interview is the extent to which it is his son, his daughter, his grandchildren, which have gotten him through the grief that he has experienced. I mean, from when his wife and 13-month-old daughter Naomi were killed in a car crash, Hunter and Bo were very little as well. They were badly injured. But his concern for them and being there for them is what pulled him through those early months of grief. And now, in the wake of the death of his son, Bo, it's his relationship with his family members, with Hunter, with his daughter, Ashley, and the grandchildren that has really become the bedrock of his life.
It's such an important point. I mean, just thinking about the ties that bind and this connective tissue that your podcast really explores is just so heartwarming in some respects. It makes people feel less alone in what they're going through, to have the president speak about it, to have you speak about it, to have so many people talk about the process of all of this. And it's just so important. And really,